Hello, how are you all? I'm Aulia Salsabillah with the student identification number 124231008 from the history 2023. Here I will present the PETRUS incident. Recently, Indonesia has been shocked by the KLITIH case. What the KLITIH case in Jogja? This crime is said to have taken many victims. Moreover, it has a negative effect on society, such as fear and distrust of the ability to use the state security apparatus to protect the area. Now, if you talk about this kind of crime with the older generation or your parents, it seems that they will tell you about the reign of President Soeharto, namely during the New Order, especially about the Petrus policy, which in his day was considered successful in cleaning it up. This time wants to discuss one of the historical stories that can be full of pros and cons. Even today, this story took place during President Soeharto's time, commonly known as the New Order, which for some people is considered as a period full of the Kijang. There are two very tense times during the reign of the New Order. The first when the military moved to clean the test from communist elements, and the second when the government ran the Petrus policy. What the Petrus? Petrus here is not the name of one of the followers of Jesus from Christianity, but rather an abbreviation of mysterious shootings. Petrus is a part of a crime eradication operation that targets people who are used as criminals, especially those or the former case. How can the military identify criminals? It's not that there is a saying that they say, where there are thieves who confess, the way is arguably quite simple. Those with long hair, people whose bodies are full of tattoos and have many scars are then segregated as a suspicious group by identification. Physical appearance can be called the easiest way or often contains certain image. There are symbols of a gang, certain image that symbolize a gang. Still remember games like Grand Theft Auto? How gangs usually have their own characteristics for those who were at school. Hopefully, like that might be considered normal, but for those who live in the old days with long hair and tattoos have a very negative connotation because these characteristics are often considered thugs. The question is not the New Order regime, which is known to be close to the United States, like the fuss about human characteristics are considered thugs. The question is not the New Order regime, which is known close to the United States, like the fuss about human rights issues. What does the world say about this? Okay, next. Now that you know the actress is, I will a little documentary footage about this event. Okay, that's all. Yeah. Okay, next. Background. The Petrus incident were a series of summary executions that took place in Indonesia between 1983 and 1984 under President Soeharto's New Order regime. Thousands of people considered criminals and others wrongdoers were killed by death squads and undercover secret police force. Their bodies were then placed in public place, which caused terror to the unknowing public. The Petrus incident was carried out as an attempt by the government to reduce the crime rate, which had increased in the early 1980s. In 1983, 532 people were recorded and 367 died from gunshots, once allegedly victims of mysterious shootings. Then, in 1984, there were 107 deaths, and in 1985, a total of 74 people died, 28 of whom died from being shot. The name Petrus comes from Indonesia. Okay. Petrus comes from Indonesian abbreviation contained in the word's mysterious shooter, which refer to the undercover and anonymous nature of the death squads. The term is also popularly known as dar, which is an Indonesian onomatopoeia for the sounds of gunfire. The Petrus incident is one of the most striking examples of the authoritarian rule of the New Order, which often uses violence and militarism to maintain stability and security. It also violates human rights as it judges people without due process of law. Okay, next. Who was involved in the Petrus incident? Some of the people involved in Petrus incidents are, first of all, President Soeharto. He was the supreme leader of the new order who gave the orders and support to carry out the mysterious shooting operation. He was also responsible for the human rights violation that occurred during the event. Second, General Leonardo Benjamin. He was the commander of the Indonesian Armed Force who oversaw and coordinated the mysterious shooting operation. He also provided reasons and justification for the events, both to the public and to international parties. Okay, third, let's call Muhammad Hasbi. He was the commander of Yogyakarta garrison who planned and initiated the mysterious shooting operation in March 1983. He also disseminated the idea and methods of the operation to other areas in Indonesia. Fourth, death squad and secret police force. They were the direct perpetrator of the mysterious shooting operation. They were in charge of searching, capturing, shooting, and disposing of the bodies victim in public place. They also disguised themselves and did not reveal their identity. Okay, 5. Victims and targets of the shootings. What is it? These are people who are considered criminals and the other criminals by the government. They are not given the opportunity to defend themselves or face trial. They are also not told the reasons and motive behind their killing. Some of them were pimps, recidivists, thugs, drug users, and some were mistaken. Okay, next. Planning and execution. Planning the mysterious shooting operation was planned by Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Hasbi, commander of the Yogyakarta garrison. In March 1983, he received order from the commander of the Indonesian Armed Force, General Leonardo Benjamin who had the support of President Soeharto. The aim of this operation was to reduce the crime rate that was rampant in the early 1980s by shooting dead people who were considered criminals and other wrongdoers without going through the court process. The operation was conducted in secret and was not announced to the public. Execution. Mysterious shooting operations are carried out the death squads and secret police force disguised as ordinary people. They were tasked with finding, capturing, shooting, and disposing of the bodies of victims in public places such as roads, river, or rice fields. They also did not reveal the identity, so no one knew who the perpetrators were and why they were killed. The operation spread to various regions in Indonesia, such as Jakarta, Bandung, Surabaya, Medan, and Makassar. The operation lasted for 2 years, from 1983 to 1985, and killed thousands of people. Okay, next. Why did the Petrus incidents happen? The Petrus incident was part of the New Order government's strategies to tackle the problem of rampant criminality in the early 1980s. The government considered that existing law enforcement was not effective and efficient enough to tackle crime, especially those involving violence, firearms, and drugs. Therefore, the government ordered the security force, especially the military and secret police, to conduct shooting operations against suspect criminals. The Petrus incident was also influenced by political and ideological factors. The New Order government sought to maintain national stability and security by suppressing and eliminating all forms of opposition and criticism of the regime. One of the methods used was to create fear and dread among the people through arbitrary and non-transparent acts of violence. The Petrus incident was also intended to demonstrate the power and authority of the government, especially President Soeharto, who claimed to be a firm and respected leader. The Petrus incident was also triggered by social and cultural factors. During the New Order era, there were significant changes in the structure and dynamic of Indonesian society, such as urbanization, modernization, globalization, and consumerism. This led to various impacts such as poverty, inequality, conflict, anomaly, and moral degradation. Some groups of people, especially young people, feel dissatisfied and frustrated. with the existing condition and seek a way to deviant behaviors, such as criminality, violence, and drugs. The Petrus incident was one form of government reaction to this social phenomenon. Oh, okay, next. Consequence of Petrus incidents. The Petrus incident caused fear and apprehension among the public, especially for those who were considered criminals or perpetrators of crime. They did not feel safe and comfortable because at any time they could become the target of mysterious shootings. They also did not get legal protection or the opportunity to defend themselves. The Petrus incident demonstrates the power and authority of the new order government, especially President Soeharto, who claimed to be a firm and respected leader to maintain national stability and security, as well as suppress and eliminate any form of opposition and criticism of the region. The government also controlled the media and information, so there was no transparency or accountability for the events. The Petrus incident was a gross human rights violation, as it took life and tortured people without a fair trial. It also violates principles of international law, such as the right to life, the right to humane treatment, and the right to a fair trial. This incident has received attention and condemnation from various organizations such as Amnesty International, which demands that the government reveal the truth and provide justice for victims and their families. Oh, okay. Notes. Victims and targets of the killings in the Petrus incident. The victims and targets of the Petrus killing were people who were considered criminals and perpetrators of the crimes by the new order government. They were not given the opportunity to defend themselves or face trial. They were also not told the reasons and motives behind their killings. Some of the criteria and characteristics used to determine the target of the killings were: okay, first of all, having tattoos on the body is considered a sign of identity for thugs, gangs, or criminals. Second, a recidivist is a person who has repeatedly committed crimes such as robbery, theft, or murder. Third, a pimp is a person who manages a prostitution business, which is considered a source of crime and disease. And fourth, drug users is people who consume or sell illicit substances, which are considered a threat to the health and morals of society. Such are people who commit violence, extortion, or intimidation against the public, especially in markets, terminal, or streets. Okay, next. Here's example of victims and targets of the Petrus incident kills. First, in March 1983. Second, in April 1983. Third, in May 1983. Fourth, in June 1983. And last, in July 1983. Okay, next. Last in resignation, Petrus was fully discontinued in 1985, the operation, which had been requested by Soeharto since 1982 and operated from 1983 to 1985, had claimed more than 1,000 victims, according to data released by the Commission on Missing Persons and Acts of Violence, with the highest peak occurring in 1983. To deal with the problem of such crimes that often occur in Indonesia. Okay, do you agree or disagree if operations such as Petrus are re-established in Indonesia? Okay. And last, thank you very much for the listening in my presentation. Hi all!